Welcome to Adult Puzzle, a podcast where we talk all things adulting.
We all know adulting is a scam, right?
Real scam, very real scam. Honestly, no one knows everything, so we're all in this together.
One puzzle at a time.
We're puzzled together, man. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, Adult Puzzle Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Lolade, Lola, whatever your heart desires. And with me, per usual, is my partner in crime, Lamide. What's up?
Good. As you just said, whatever your heart desires. I just imagine if someone actually thinks part of your names is whatever your heart desires.
Imagine.
Because you said it a lot, Avi, on this show. So it's like,
Yes.
you know what? Imagine someone, whatever your heart desires, whatever your heart desires.
I just look at you like, please get out of here. Okay, to
Yeah,
be fair, for people that haven't listened to the last seasons, first of all, go back and listen. But my name is
you have to.
Lolade. You have to. My name is Lolade, but people call me Lola. So, and some people in my life go back and forth. So I literally just say Lolade, Lola, whatever your heart desires, pick one.
The reason why I even said it or brought it up is because I was telling a friend the other day, like, I feel some parents do their kids injustice with the kind of names they give them. It's like, thank God.
Stop.
Like, they're just some really awkward names. Like, and I'm like, come on, like you.
Yeah, there are some names that would make you just, I don't know, second look or like, interesting.
hmm Yeah,
But
but yeah, I'm
yeah,
good. My name's Lamide, like she said.
in case you missed that. Okay, for today's episode, I am extremely excited because we have another special guest. I feel like we've just been dropping some gems all season, but another special guest. He's a very dear friend of mine. He brings the laughs to my life. He's a very very funny guy and funny in a very interesting way because he has range sometimes. Like you just don't even know where he's going to come from anytime you talk to him. But now my friend Nonso is here. Nonso, how are you? Welcome to the pod.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I am very happy to be here. That was a nice introduction, actually. Thank you.
Did I get it right? You're my very funny friend. Like literally, you make me laugh always.
It's my life situations. That's just I always get myself into very, very strange predicaments. But it's good. It's good.
How have you been? How's your week been? I know you're a busy man.
Uh, being good. Going through life reformation right now.
Okay.
As we all should, whether it's changing up the wardrobe, changing up the space, the mindsets, your new having a new perspective on life in general. So that's what I'm going through right now.
I really love that. What does that look like for you? What are you doing for your own reset?
Not reset, because reset is like how they say Sunday reset. Reset is like something that will return back to its original form as
Mm-hmm.
time goes by. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's like I don't want to go back to the original. I want to change and continually changing forward, not changing backward. So
Mm-hmm.
for that looks like for me is like I mentioned, wardrobe first of all. As a big guy, some of us are carrying some nyash here and there. So,
Oh God.
I have to be able to, find things that fit my body very well. So I've been on, IG, TikTok, kind of trying to like find stars that I like, buying stuff here and there, put them together. I bought some stuff, but they haven't gotten here yet.
Mm-hmm.
So going to try them
I need
on.
links or no, so I need links.
Let me see if he enters me first. If I start
No,
linking anybody.
no,
Oh
but
my
in
God.
general, no. So you're a very fashionable person, like very, especially for a guy, because I feel like fashion for girls, it's very easy to have different options, but for guys, I typically find that I don't know when a guy says they're fashionable, I always look at them with side eye, like, please. But you are actually very fashionable, so please share some tips.
For me, fashion is very subjective. It's
It
like
is.
you know what. And one thing I noticed is that people don't wear what fits their body type. You have
Yep.
to look
Mhm.
at what fits your body. You have to have, whether, no, I don't say role model, but you have like a model or a celebrity, someone that looks like you, that you can kind of work off of. And there are certain people like on TikTok or IG that I follow. I'm like, okay, this person looks like me. I want to dress like this person. You know, so I kind of go off of that and pick things. There are sometimes that they have, you might not be able to afford maybe the trouser they are wearing. You look at the label, it's like, Balenciaga. This, I say, no, please, let me go to ASOS. I'm going to get mine from ASOS or Expressman or some. So you
Yep,
look
find
for
Yeah.
the,
something similar. Hmm.
you find something similar. You try it on. So it sometimes it's touch and go. It's a continuous process, but you're constantly trying to figure out what works, and it's subjective. It's subjective. I don't have any tip. My own is shall just try it on,
Mhm.
have like a silhouette of somebody that you want to mimic, and try and mimic that. And
And you
see
also
it.
said something that is dress your body type, you know? I think that's
Yeah,
fundamental. So
yeah.
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah. I think also be willing to like switch it up because some people get so stuck in like a certain thing
Ah,
and
that's a big problem. I don't like I like people that switch it up.
yeah,
You have to
try
be able to
something
wear
new.
this, wear
Mhm.
the whether you're wearing streetwear, you're wearing comfort wear, your vacation wear what else? Uh, Work casual,
Yeah.
full casual, beach. You want to be able to switch it up. So
Yeah.
because as you can't that's one of the problems I'm finding with like especially hip hop in general. Like,
Mhm.
if we're looking at like people that as we were younger, let's say Lil Wayne now, for instance. you know when we were young, he was young too,
Mhm.
dressing hip hop. You wear t-shirts, skinnies, shoes, Supras or something like that.
Yeah.
And as you
2010
get,
fashion.
2010, and you now see them again, 2022, they are still wearing the same thing. You're like, Omo,
Zero
you know,
growth.
no growth. Oh, you don't want to wear suit. Is the suit scratching you that you don't want to just wear it one day? So as you move on with age, you want to be able to stay, you know, dress your age. That's very, very important. So dress your body type and dress your age.
The
So
dress your age one, I'm a bit like, I don't know if I agree. I think being able to evolve, because dressing your age can also put you in a box. Let's be real.
mm,
It can, right? Because I've heard like, oh, you should dress like a mom. You don't dress like a mom. What does that mean? Because I have children, I should only be wearing bobo. Like, you get it's like you can still look. No, for
Are
real.
you shading someone right now?
No, no, no. Because okay, I mean, I'm not a mom, so I don't know who I could be shady, but
I get what
like,
you mean, though. I get what you mean.
yeah,
Like,
it can
does
put you in a
age
box.
does age like have a particular fashion style? It's like,
Exactly.
are you not
Yeah.
supposed to look good because you're older or you're a certain age? Like,
Yeah. So today's topic, we're talking about something very interesting, and I thought Nonso was going to be the perfect person for this because Nonso has gone through a very interesting dating like life in general,
mm,
and
breakfast, lunch,
yes,
and dinner.
mm,
the thing is like I feel like Naso is such a great guy, and any girl will be lucky to have him. But he's
Mm.
also such a lover boy in the sense of like he gives it his all. And sometimes I feel like some girls just take him for granted. And that really upsets me. But anyhow, what we're bringing it back to like relationships today, but a very, very specific part of relationships. We're talking about physical attraction in relationships because we know, even with dating, physical attraction is like one of the very first like indicators of like if you're going to talk to somebody or not. So we're going to drill down on that piece of relationships today. Are you guys
Okay.
excited? No, so are you
I
excited?
like it. Love it.
let's go. Let's talk about
Let's
it.
go. Let's talk about it. Okay. So for this season, what we're doing is we're really trying to embrace our name of adult puzzle, and we're throwing puzzles at ourselves every single episode in scenario styles. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pose a scenario at you, Nonso,
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea is for you to answer as honest, truthful as possible, putting yourself in that specific scenario. So don't try and
Mm-hmm.
generalize it. Answer what you're gonna do based on
Mm-hmm.
like how you will react, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Nonso, you've been dating your partner for 2 plus years now, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything is good. Things are relatively great for you guys, except for you've noticed that you don't have as much insane physical attraction as you had for them like you used to. So like you had for them at the initial stage of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And as you started to drill down, you notice that like, okay, she has put on some weight. And it's not like it's not like you don't think they're attractive, but you just don't think they're as sexy as they used to be. What do you do?
Um, I think for me is if I found you, like, let's say, okay, in the dating phase, like,
Mm-hmm.
honeymoon, we're both, hot and everything. I think personally, just to preface this, I think everyone should be taking their health personally. Take it. Don't say, because I'm in a relationship now, I need to stop doing my daily routine, whether it's I used to run or I used to do yoga. What's the point? Because there are some people that are like, oh, I have a boyfriend now, I don't need to do anything special anymore. No,
Yeah.
everyone needs to still be healthy, take care of themselves, because you want to look good for your person, right?
Mhm.
Now, to answer your question, personally, I wouldn't just lose. I'm not the type of person to just lose attraction out of nowhere because somebody gained weight, because I've been in that situation and I still found the person that me, I like a little jiggle, you know what I'm saying? So uh, it doesn't really do anything for me when it comes to weight. My own is, as long as you are taking don't come to me and tell me, oh, I'm gaining weight, I'm gaining weight, I'm gaining weight, and then you're not doing anything about it. Like,
Mhm.
it's going to irritate me. If you come to me and tell me, like, oh, I've noticed I'm gaining weight, I don't like how I look, I can't fit into this. Okay, we'll sit down and say, okay, what can we do to, rectify the situation? Is it me following you to the gym, or is it me going on morning walks with you, or do you want us to start kickboxing together? Do you want us to start doing hot yoga together? Whatever we need to do to get to a point where you feel like you're back to yourself, me, I'll do it. It doesn't really bother me. But it's now comes a thing where it's like, if the person, has gained weight, doesn't like how they feel or like how they see themselves, right? What are they doing? Are they just going to just sit down there like, okay, this is me now? You must like me. No, no, no. You must like me for who I am. Like, no, you have to put in the effort constantly. Because me, if I have to still go to the gym more. I have to still play football. I have to still play basketball to look,
Yeah.
So when I come into a room and your lady friends are there, they'll be like, that's him. That's the good looking fellow. So I can't. I don't. I won't lose attraction, but I will tell you, look, Omo, if you're complaining, we gotta do something about it. We
What
can't.
if she isn't complaining, but you're
Are you
noticing?
bringing it up? Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah.
say that. Like, what if she isn't complaining and you notice? What happens? Do you bring it up or do you not say anything at all? Or what amount of weight would you then bring up? Ah, okay, 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 okay. Let's
At
talk.
a point, I will notice, because I'm the type of person that, let's say, because me, I'm an outdoor person, right? Because in the dating phase, I've more than likely taken you kayaking, I've taken you cycling, I've taken you climbing this Mount Kilimanjaro. We've
Can't
done
I see
everything.
why I said this guy? Ah,
So,
okay.
so, we've already done that. So in the early stages where you are breathing normally, and we are doing it well, pace by pace. Later, 2 years later, you are struggling. You are struggling to complete all these tasks. That I'll be like, yo, it's time. It's time that we rectify this so you can match me. So I won't say it out loud, but I'll be like, babes, there was a time we used to do this thing, very efficiently. What's going on? Do we need to, maybe you might need to, exercise a little, No, I won't say it like that, but I'd be like, maybe you need to take your health, into consider. You have to, when you're talking to women, you have to, sugarcoat it and make it feel,
Mm,
make it feel nice. Well, babes, I like your I like how you look, but your health means a lot to me. Maybe you have to, make it's always the way you communicate. Don't come and say, babe, you're big, oh, what's going on? You can't say stuff like that. So it's how you say it that you
Hmm.
know.
That's good to
So
know. Lamde, what
hmm,
about you?
Uh, I mean, I think conversation is what matters. We definitely need to talk about it, I guess, and figure out how. Not figure out. It wouldn't be a serious thing per se. It's just like I'll mention it. I'm like, babe, do you want us to go to like the gym together type of thing, or and
Hmm.
I probably might not raise it if it's not conspicuous. Like, because I feel sometimes women already know these things, then you telling them about it is just
hmm,
like added pressure type of situation. So maybe, except it now becomes like real, like also said, like it's a massive difference type of game. And if it's not a situation where maybe the babe just gave birth or something, or she's taking some pills that
Mm,
I'm aware of, because I'm aware of all those hormonal changes and
birth
the adverse
control.
effects to the
Yeah.
body. So, like, if she's on medication or things like that that I'm aware of, I'm definitely not raising it up. Whenever the weight goes, it goes. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. But, like, if it's a situation where I've just noticed that Uber Eats, DoorDash every time to the house, pizza today, burger tomorrow type of
yeah.
situation, maybe we would talk about like cutting down things like that, and focus on the healthy side of things. I'm guessing health is always a good way to sell, you know,
Hmm,
weight loss to a woman, especially. It's like don't come at it, come, don't bring up the conversation from a beauty standpoint. Maybe a tip to the men: come at it from a health standpoint. So everybody appreciates health. Health is wealth. There might be reason to there might be less likely reason to argue with you or like throw a tantrum. But I'm guessing if it's like from the beauty standpoint, it's like you don't find me sexy anymore, Abby. And some men are blunt, though. It's like no, I don't find you sexy, but it is what it is. I guess a good conversation, also how you communicate, right,
Yeah.
to to the girl in question. But yeah, I think that's me too.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like what both of you said makes a lot of sense, and I definitely agree. The thing that is very interesting to me, though, because I'm really trying to put myself, because I do agree, I feel like this is a very, very sensitive topic. I mean, I'm not saying men don't get sensitive when it comes to like physical stuff, but I definitely know how sensitive it can land in the woman's ears. And for women, like putting myself in that shoes. And I'm trying to think about it like, would I rather have my man sugarcoat it to me, or would I rather have him spell it out in like a nice way, not necessarily blunt, because I think the blunt one would throw me off. But like, instead of coming to me in a, oh babe, do you want to work out together? Maybe come to me and be like, oh babe, I know this is going to be difficult for you to hear, but can I be honest about something? And then like that way you're already prefacing it, making me prepared, like, okay, something is going to come through. And then maybe you say something like, oh, I don't know, maybe you've put on a few pounds, whatever, and I still find you, beautiful, but I would prefer if you were smaller, like how you were when we first met. Like, I would appreciate that more, because in my head, like, I can process that easily, right? Rather than like, oh, let's go to the gym together. I'm thinking, there's just so much open for interpretation there. And this is just for me. I know another woman might be like, hell to the no. How can you come to me and say you preferred me when I was smaller, blah, 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 blah. But me personally, I would definitely like the approach of like coming to me and telling me the situation in a very obviously, you're catering to my emotions, but less sugarcoating and like having me read between the lines.
I
That,
think the difficulty in executing that is very high. So that's like,
yes.
do you
And you have to
understand?
know your woman
You
too.
have to know
Yeah.
your woman, and how you land that
Yeah.
pitch you have to be very precise and like
Yes.
you're
And me now is different from me 2, 3 years. I don't know if me 2, 3 years ago would have said this exact same thing now. Do you get? I think I've just become
yeah.
a bit more realistic, right? But I definitely would prefer like you're so right, Lamidi. How you land it, it has to be precise, because you can just say one
That can
one
go
word
left
that will just
easily.
heard scatter my head.
Oh my god, yeah.
Literally, yeah. But it's hard. Putting myself in that shoes, I feel like guys can take this easier, but definitely do what you guys both did. I definitely agree with Nonso, and we'll dive into this later on. I think even when you're in a relationship, it's so important to keep up with like yourself physically, because obviously, and maybe this is a good like second question to ask you guys, but do you think physical preferences and attractions um outweighs or comes as equal to the other non-physical things?
Is high up. I can't even front. And the question is it equal or like does it outweigh? Uh, I think because it's the first thing you see, it
Mm-hmm.
can be right up there amongst like every other thing, to be honest. So I can lean towards outweighing. Yes, it might be the biggest part of like,
Mm.
preferences for people. Because I mean, it, you see someone's physical appearance first, right? It's like that's the first thing you come across, the body type or body size. So people say that physical appearance doesn't matter, but like to be honest, subconsciously, that is already sieving your options for you in your
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
The people you approach, the people you entertain the more, the people you're more. It's like you might not know it's actively happening, but subconsciously your brain is already doing the math and division and everything.
I mean, I definitely feel like for the initial stage, yes, but I don't necessarily know for me if it outweighs it because I
Or
feel
isn't
like
that
yes.
what we're talking about, like at the beginning, right? Or you
So
just mean like
in
generally?
general, so I was kind of referring to in general. So like, okay, let me actually break this down a bit more. So let's say two women, and this goes for both of you guys, right? Two women,
Mhm.
one of them is your type, like you find them very physically attractive, right?
Mm.
And the other non-physical stuff like personality, character, drive, values are not necessarily there for you. And then you have another woman where physically she's not it for you. Like she's not the type of woman that you would gravitate to just with the physical stuff. However, the all other non-physical qualities are there for you. You guys vibe each other, your personalities mesh so well, values align, everything you would want in a woman that is not physical, she has it. Who would you pick?
Ah, the one that has all the characteristics beside the not so perfect physical preference.
That's a lie. That's a
Like
lie.
easy money. Easy money.
Okay, no, so I want to
That's
hear your own. Oh yeah, what's your own?
Yeah, yeah, just saying that, because people are listening. If I bring the two girls in front of you, you know which one you're already to get. No, 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 I'm
Ah,
not going to lie. I will go off the one with zero personality because that's why physically, if I'm attracted to you, that's it. And I don't know how to.
I just know I've been there and it can't last. You get what I'm
It
saying?
can't. It
It's
can't. No,
like
I
we
do.
can't hold conversation for long. We can't. So what are we doing there? Like smashing every day and
Even
going our
even
separate ways.
even if it doesn't last, that's who I would pick.
See, also this is why you're in the predicament you're in.
Huh.
I was just like down the line.
No, even if it's not because for me, I look at so now, Shami, I look at
I
everything.
like the honesty, Sha.
No,
I
same.
look at everything, the
Hmm.
physical, your aesthetic, your
Mhm.
career,
Mhm.
your family, how you communicate, how you articulate yourself, everything. I look at everything. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the top of the list is always physical attraction.
Mhm.
As a guy, and me, I'll say it, Sha, you want to bring somebody or you want to be associated with somebody who looks a certain way, who is very attractive, who if other men see, they're like, wow,
You don't
that's
want to hide
that's
your babe.
you don't want you don't want if you send a picture to her, if you send a picture to your boys, they'll
No,
say
oh my god.
no, wait, hold on. They'll say instead of guy, bad babe or mad babe, I'm happy for you. They'll say whatever makes you happy, bro.
Okay, okay, okay. Good, good, good.
Whatever makes
Let,
you happy.
let's assume. I love this. I love this. Let's assume mad babe, 10/10, physical aesthetics on point. I will even throw fashion in there just because you're a fashionable guy. Have fashion on point, but bad mouth hygiene. What's happening there? Fiscal will still outweigh.
Bro, I will go to Target. I'll go,
Ah!
I'll go to Walmart. We'll fix it.
Oh god.
What? Well, I'll even tell her, bro, guy, your mouth, we gotta do something about it. We can fix it. Is this a disease? What's happening? You know?
Oh
And
my god.
that's fixable stuff. Oh. You can't, I mean, if I noticed it like maybe first date scenario, I'll be like, what's going on? But that kind of stuff, you kind of analyze that's why I said you analyze the person, whether is their aesthetic, how they take care of themselves, hygiene, all that. You have to put everything into perspective. So, like you were saying, not everything is going to tick the box that you have created, though.
Mm-hmm.
But if everything is there and it's just smelling mouth, come on.
Both Lamide and Nonso. Lamide, you actually be able to sustain a relationship. Nonso is going to be jumping from one fine babe to the next because to a very large extent, like physicals can take you so far, right? Especially if the other qualities are truly, truly, truly not there, right? So what I was gonna say, and this is like my own what I've realized in recent days is if a man's face is not doing it for me, I
I
cannot.
think I've
I'm
heard this
sorry.
before.
No, like because I've also realized that with body, like with your body, you can that can change easily, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put on weight, you lose weight. Like that one, if okay, physically his body type is not my cup of tea and he has all the characteristics, like yeah. But if his face, because your face is not gonna change. And honestly, truly, it's not gonna work for me. It's not. So
I think
in
I
that
agree with that.
instance, it's a no. You can't be you're just my friend. Like I would just see you as a friend. Like you have all these great characteristics. Let's be friends. But I just can't see you in a romantic like because I'm not gonna wanna like be with you sexually. Like if I don't find you attractive.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point? Yeah. So that's why to a very large extent, I feel like my own physical preference is your face on the very basic level.
I agree. I agree with that face because face is at least your face has to make sense.
Oh,
Body
that's
for
what you're
me,
waking up to every
for,
day. I
for
get that.
exactly body is and I tend to go for very natural, um
Mm. Zero
natural.
BBL.
No, not everybody face like natural, naturally beautiful women. Like the women I've dated, their face is like
Yeah.
10/10, like no makeup, and
Gorgeous. Yeah.
they never used makeup at all. Like, and that's what I like. So that's what I'm actually looking at before I look at body. To be fair, so
Mm.
it's me, but that physical attraction is.
I get what you guys are saying, and I think maybe I was operating from your understanding of the other option is not as if the baby is ugly. Do you understand? It's just like
Mm,
it's just as if because yeah, it's not as if I would be dating ugly babes because my face card too is high. Sure you get so like
But at
we
the end
have
of
to
the day,
and
it's
we have
like
to
it's
think
like
of the babies too. Do you understand? It's like
but what
it can't
keeps
be
you
unfair.
but what keeps you what retains the relationship, obviously, like you were
Yeah,
saying,
yeah, yeah.
is actually the person's personality,
yeah.
how they treat you, how they care for you, and vice versa. You're doing the same for the person. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not nyash that is going to keep you forever. Like at
Do
some
you
point,
get? It's
at
like
some
are
point
you
it's
going
like
to be eating yash every day, every
exactly.
day?
I mean,
I
we
mean,
might, but you might, but at the same time, it's like, bro, my birthday is in Yash.
Breakfast, yash. Lunch,
Not,
yash. Dinner, yash.
so it
Step
can't
on
just
some other things now, you know.
exactly. So you're right. You're right.
so basically, yeah, we're all in alignment that like fundamentally you have to find this person attractive. Like basic level. She
Yeah,
might
if
not
you want to be
be
honest with yourself, yeah. Yep.
yeah, exactly. She might not because to be fair, and I think Labda you had mentioned this, you see situations where like people are not very attractive to a certain type of person and when they get to know the person more they like the other parts of the person
Hmm.
and they're able to overlook the lack of attraction. Can you guys find yourself in that situation? Because you also know that attraction can grow. I can attest to this. Where like I meet a guy who I think he's pretty decent, right? But it's not like, oh my gosh, I want to rip my clothes off, that type of thing. However, the more I get to know him, he just becomes more and more
Mm,
attractive to me, just like as a whole. So do you think
yep.
like attraction can grow on you if you were not even attracted at all?
Hmm.
I think so. I also think sometimes, you know, that line that says, or that phrase that says, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, is actually very true.
Yeah.
People grow finer. I can't lie to you. Someone that you knew 5 years ago that you wrote off type of situation, or you never paid them mind. You see them 5 years later and it's like, okay, who's this person type of situation? Plus, if like we said, I think we've already established, if on a basic level the face card has passed, but it's not like it's me now type of situation type
Hmm.
of face, and you now start conversing and communication back and forth, birthdays, things, emotions enter. Of course, I think it can work, to be honest. I think by that time you're already lost in the sauce, right? Like you're deep in the sauce big time, and it can work. I think that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine. It just happens to be that any small mistake that happens later in the future, you
Now
start to
come and
see all the
see.
things again. You
Yeah.
start to see all the things that
Yes.
you ignored later, but like when things are good and hot and you're both putting in effort, it's definitely a workable situation, in my opinion.
Disagree all the way.
Ah, I like
Yeah,
this guy.
women have a tendency to give. They're the ones that do give. Okay, let me give this guy a chance. You
Hmm.
know, he might not. I might not be. He might not like be my if I my ideal physical type, but I'll give him a chance. And more often times than not, this person will go and do rubbish. Later, they will now come and say, "Ah, charity case. Look at what I was dealing with." Why you want my car? See, that's why for me, Sha, me, I don't. I've spoken. There are some people that like I know from all that I'm not even attracted. Like, why would I? Even if the discussion, what is keeping me is your face. I want to be able to see your face. I like your face. I cannot talk to this face. I like to see this face. I want to talk to you. So me, if I'm not from right off the bat, if I'm not attracted to you, I'm not even going to invest. I'm not going to invest my money, my time, efforts. I won't put it there. And that's how men see it. Me, I want to speak for everybody. You're going to
But
come
no,
and
so I think again, I like your honesty. I love it. But it sounds to me like the only women that you're talking to are nines and tens. Like eight is a no no, seven is a no no, six is a no no.
But
Is
you know
that
that
am
scale
I
is relative though.
okay?
yes.
Guys,
Like eight
do
for you
we
might be five for not so.
Ah,
okay?
hmm.
Oh, I'm guessing, guys, we have a pretty similar definition of eight, if you know what I mean. But I mean, also, am I speaking or am I not speaking? Like we know it,
Um,
we know an eight when we say an eight, as guys, as far as guys are
to be,
concerned.
to be fair, I don't operate on scale. I don't think anyone should
So it's
be.
either yes or no. It's not
It's either
scale.
yes or no. Like
Okay, that makes
that's all.
Wait,
sense.
okay,
That
but what I was trying to get at is like no, so you have a type that is very different from some of your guys' type though.
Live, yes.
Exactly. So you can't really scale it up on like you can't say oh guys in general because Nonso's
Yeah,
cup of tea might not be Lavide's cup of tea.
yeah, that's true. Me, I think now as I get older, it's not necessarily body. It's more about the aesthetic. Like, you
You
get
guys an
me?
artist.
So how do you, because me, I want
No,
to learn, I want
yeah,
to learn from a woman. I want to learn, how do you put your outfits together? How do you
together.
do your space? How do you cook? How do you do, I'm just like, I'll just be looking at you and just be enjoying watching and experiencing you. Because there's some people, because personally that's the type of person I am right now. I am working on being as eccentric, as interesting as possible, which is why as Lolade, I can cook, clean, art,
He's
uh, I'm
all
everything.
around.
I'm doing everything so that when somebody comes into my my vicinity, I'm not just a one-dimensional person, you know. So if you're I can't come and see and just learn from you and just be watching and learning, like why am I here, you know? So that's why I mean physical and aesthetic is very, very important, and I don't really put into accounts skill. What is two? What is three? What is eight? Nah. I don't do
I'm
that.
assuming when you say aesthetics, because you said it quite a lot, you're talking about like fashion sense, the way you carry yourself type of
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Yeah, you even from how you make your room, how you do your bed, everything, everyone has an aesthetic. If you go to Lolade's house now, how she decorates her apartment, how she puts her fits together, her wardrobe, everything. She doesn't think I'm watching her. So that I just be looking at her, So everything comes together. That is your personality. That is you. Why did you choose to put this art up? What does this art mean to you? Why does this art represent you? What does it mean to you that you what was the intention behind you putting? So everything is that person's, aesthetic. That's what I mean.
Mm.
So it intrigues me when, you see a woman, you're like, wow. Well, how did you, why did you think of putting this on today? What was your thoughts behind it? Or you see her room or her apartment, why this color? Why did you choose? So it just that's what intrigues me. That's what interests me. It's not necessarily, physical is there, but that will tie into the whole aesthetic thing that I'm talking about. But I don't operate on scale. It's just if I look, I gauge you yes or no. If it's no, I just turn my head. There's nothing there again.
I think that's a perfect segue into saying, do you think that physical attraction sometimes can be misleading? Because you said all these ones now, and it's like, ah, you've taken all that aesthetic in, and you've taken all that nice face card, 10 over 10. I mean, not 10 over 10. Yes, everything is checking on that initial. You think sometimes it misleads you into like, once that infatuation phase is over, you start noticing everything that you might have just maybe like ignored because the aesthetics were on point, and that face was popping.
I yes, because I've been in situations where it's like face, so you're like, this babe makes sense, but when you take into account like everything, whether it's her family or the type of or her mindset, her frame of mind, has she even finished school, has she which other one again, has she does she see herself in a career, how does she
Yep.
talk,
Does she have goals? That's
does
big
she
for
have
me
goals?
as well.
Exactly. Does she have goals? How does she articulate herself? Because you don't want to bring somebody that when you bring around your friend, they're just saying rubbish, you're choosing friend, So those kind of things, when you now look
Do you have
after,
an experience where you brought someone out of your friends?
no, but those are the things you have to think of as you get older.
Yeah, I
you know
definitely agree.
what is this woman going to, how is she going to talk around not just your friends, your coworkers, your family, your friends, those things, you have to put it together. Many guys don't think about this thing. That's why you bring babe and she'll be chatting shit and you guys will be looking at, guy, why did you bring this babe here now? What's this? So, guys don't think about it, but because me, guys, sometimes my guys will bring babes in our vicinity. I'm just like, guy, you can do better
Not
than
to
this.
be quiet, because
Anyway, I don't want
we have
to
too many experience.
anyway, but what I'm trying to say is yes, because somebody can bring you in with their physical face, whatever the case may be, but then after a while, you have to start reevaluating like how does this person fit into my life picture? you know, if I'm moving forward, is this person going to be adding to me? Am I on the same level? Are we on the same level? Or am I constantly trying to drag them along? Which is fine, as long as they are willing to also do the work. But do you get what I'm saying? You can only do so
Yeah,
much.
Uh,
yeah,
uh, what do you
I agree.
say?
I've been there. I agree. I feel like physical attraction can be so misleading. Lamine, I think I told you about this. Maybe I've talked about it on this pod. There was this one guy I was talking to, and his face card, like, I thought he was so handsome, like so freaking handsome. And the thing is, like, even the other aesthetics that Nonso you were talking about, he had a really nice place, very artistic. I'm very into like artistic guys, like people that know how to just express themselves in like a creative way. Very that. His fashion sense needed some help, but overall, there was just something about his physical look that I liked. And the other things were not really it, but for some weird reason, I was still like giving it time of day. And the thing is, like at the back of my head, I knew, okay, yeah, this wasn't gonna go to anything. But if I didn't think he was as handsome as he was, I wouldn't have even given him the time of day, like at all. So I definitely think like physical attraction can be misleading. Also, especially if you want something more, you need to assess like, is this just physical or do I like more? Because I think those lines can be very blurry. Because for me, with the guy, I knew, okay, yeah, this is just vibes, right? Like I was self-aware to know, okay, this is just vibes, just having a good time. But I have seen situations where like you don't recognize how it's just infatuation, like Lamide mentioned. And because you're not recognizing that, yeah, this is just all physical, you're misleading yourself into thinking there's more there when there really isn't.
How can you tell the difference between infatuation and what's the word for the opposite?
Love,
Whether
like
it's
actual
deep, yeah, deeper
deeper than,
connection, whether
yeah.
it's love, whatever the
I
case.
like that. I like that also.
When you
Lode,
start
what are
to
you
assess
saying?
the other things, right? So infatuation is like you're really thinking about the physical attraction, right? You see this person and you just want to fantasize about, I don't know, things that you fantasize about physically. It's all about, maybe the sex. You're seeing like the physical perfections, and that's what you're idolizing, rather than like the actual love, when it's like you're accepting their imperfections, you're going deeper than just the physical, like you're connecting emotionally, you're asking yourself questions about, do you align with their values, do you align with the goals that they've set for themselves, do you want to integrate yourself into their lives, like it's less of the physical surface level things of the lust, the sex, the romanticizing, all of that, and then it's more of like the deeper feelings. I think that's how you separate it. And if you have both, that's just like that's where we all want to be. We want to,
Do you think that we all lost before we even have connection at the end of the day, if
yeah,
you are being real?
we should, because honestly,
Because
if you
people
don't
that say
lust,
lost versus love, yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
It's
you
like,
should. And I wouldn't call it. Well, we should actually, because lusting over someone is like that initial physical. I think the physical
hmm
element of everything is so important, right? But infatuation is when it is just that, and you're not recognizing that it is just that. So in your head, you're thinking, "Oh, this is deep. We're getting, either you guys now say boyfriend, girlfriend, but." You haven't passed that lust. It's just still lust. And you do have people who like are going into relationships off of just lust and infatuation and nothing else.
Do you think? I think those people that are in that infatuation is mainly because they are not acting, they are not asking the serious questions.
hmm,
Like there are times where I've been infatuated with someone,
Yeah.
right? And I hadn't yet asked them all the questions that I hold important to me,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's, what are your intentions? What's your family, situation like? Maybe not like that, but what does intimacy outside of sex look like for you? Those
Yes.
kind of
Love
questions,
languages. Yeah.
stuff like that, you try and get to know the person. So if you're not asking those kind of questions and actually wanting to know whether this person fits you as a person, and you just like them because you like them, but if they
hmm.
ask you why do you like them, with not oh, this person is fine, it's how, no, why do you like them, what about them or their personality do you like? And if you can't answer those questions, then perhaps you might just be infatuated with that person.
Let's say a girl, and this, I don't know. Typically, girls don't shoot their shots, or maybe I'm projecting here. I don't know. um, I might be protecting.
Oh God,
But
Adi. See where she got that out of the way straight. She's like, typically,
typically, let's be real. But like, let's say this girl is shooting her
the
shot.
baddies don't do that.
Um, when shooting, the girl shooting her shot, and she's like, kind of making it obvious that she's interested in you, but physically, she's not really your cup of tea. How would you approach that?
I'm under Ambo. I always tell you the truth, man. Like I don't, I'm not going to be your friend, because that whole, like, why we know we are not going to be friends after this. Why are
Oh,
you
you
telling me?
actually hate it?
I really don't like it. Just be
Oh,
honest.
really? Okay.
Just tell me, hey, I'm not feeling it anymore. Thank you for your time. Chicken eyes over. That's it. And I won't,
Mm.
what's this whole friends? Tell somebody the truth. Tell them like, yo, I'm not, the way I feel has changed, and and I'm happy to move forward. Thank you for your time and everything. Best of luck. Over. When you say let's be friends, you're then giving the person kind of, let's say,
Hope also.
exactly. Let me give you a good analogy. Let's say, you know how in Nigeria you have your big gates, right, in your
Uh-huh.
house. You open that small gate for the person. You close the big gate, but that small gate is open. That small door in your gate is open. That's basically let me be your friend to
But
guys,
I always
because
thought let's be friends is an indication of like I cannot see you in the other way.
to
So
you
that's how I see it. Cause my guy friends
exactly.
that are friend zoned, I've never had a guy come out of my friend zone before.
If you tell them, like, now call them, if you say, oh, babes, I want a piece of that, they will run, because they are not your true friend. It's like me now. If you come and tell me, no, so this, that, and the other, let's hook, I'll tell you, I'll cut the call, like, "Hey, what's this man talking about?" So there's a difference. Do you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So are they really, really your friend, or they are just waiting for opportunity? Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm. And you raise a very big point. I think I've seen these TikTok videos before, like social media things where it's like call your friend and tell them like you want to hook
Oh
up type of
yeah.
situation. And that's the truth actually for a lot of like situations where like the guy friends that you have, are they really your like genuine friends or they're just hanging around because they want to smash type of thing? How much conversation for another day, but they do exist. No, so it's very correct. Like a lot of situations like that.
Yeah. So no, so you'll be real with them. Lamide, what would you do? A girl is coming at you, but she's not your cup of tea.
I'm a different breed, to be honest. I'm not that blunt, and Lade knows this.
Mhm.
I'll caress the thing into
Ah,
your head, but it will enter. But I don't know. It's not as if I see blunt or being blunt as a bad thing. I just know that I have a bad mouth. Like, if I want to use words, I know they will pierce. So, like, I always avoid that. And my mom is an English teacher, right? So, and she's also a grammarian. So I know the power of words. And I know how, if I'm being direct, I know how that can land. My mom has made me cry several times when I was younger just by talking. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't want to. That's why I always go for the softer landing type of situation. Do you understand? So I'll
so would you
caress.
turn her down, or you would?
Yes, I would,
Okay.
but in a very soft way. That's what I'm saying. I won't just do it like blunt, like you and so give it there. I'll be like, yo, maybe avoid for a while. And maybe I like your idea too. Zone, you know, zone the person is a very, very sweet thing to do. Zone the person type of situation. And if the person is not reading that one, be like, oh shit, I have a girlfriend, type of
Oh,
thing.
I've done that one recently and it does work. But
It
men, I
works.
must no no no. It works in the sense of like they're not as pushy. However, this one guy, I kid you not, he literally asked me, he said, do you have a ring on your finger? I said no. He's a Nigerian guy.
Wahala.
And
You
he's
know,
like,
you're
well, you're still up for grabs then. And I said, but I have
until
a
married.
boyfriend.
That's crazy.
He said, well, I guess it's gonna be between me and your boyfriend. And I was so shocked. Like he was,
Energy.
he, and he was Yoruba too. So at the back of my head, I'm like, you this Yoruba man, I don't know what you think you have.
Oh
It's
just
China.
God.
because just because there's a goalkeeper does not mean you cannot score.
Aye! No, so say that again for the people at the back.
Okay, wait, I have a question though. but for both of you, would you guys actually try and be with a girl that has a boyfriend? Like, would you try and move to her?
Or more. I've been a good guy so much in my life. If I see a babe that I want now and she's with someone, I think it depends. If she's showing me like signs that they are not too serious, if it's like a 2 year relationship, 1 year relationship,
Hmm.
or more, or it's like 6 months, 3 months, she has not even fallen in the sauce completely yet. What are you saying?
Wow.
Before, I used to respect. I've lost a lot of babes like that in the past,
Ah!
where I was doing Mr. Nice Guy. Jimmy was like, I have a boyfriend. Me too. Like, oh, I respect that. Maybe 3 months down the line, they broke up. And maybe I wasn't now aware I was already in something by then. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, you missed out on that. That's something that was someone that you really connected with. Now, if your time frame is under 3 months, um,
Your shitty, your shorts.
good luck, oh. Good luck.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Good
No,
luck,
sir.
oh.
But to be fair, 3 months is still a
Do you
very,
understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I think the time frame says a lot. Like, I'm not trying to
But you're
interfere with.
not even giving them time to fully form something. You're trying to put your own
uh-uh.
agenda in there.
Wait,
Is it
wait,
not,
wait,
is
wait.
it not the
Lade,
whole point of
Lade, you have regular beef in front of you, and steak is now coming along. You won't go for steak.
But if I'm already full on the beef, I'm not gonna want the steak. You're not allowing me eat the beef. That's the
now?
whole point.
Wow.
You deserve steak. You deserve good things.
That's
Us,
that's how.
us, us men are now beef and steak. That's what's happening. Wow.
Before we start to round this out, and I think this is interesting because we've already spoken about this slightly, but do you guys think it's a thing? And I think could probably all attest to this, and maybe we dive into how. But do you think like getting too comfortable in a relationship is a thing? So less self care, less upkeep, putting on like happy weights, all of those type of things.
It's definitely a thing. I've definitely seen a lot of um, relationships or marriages or whatever go that direction. It's definitely a thing. Like, you're happy, and maybe both of you know it's your final bus stop type of situation. Like, you just stop paying attention to some things. For example, happy weight, like you and your wife are going to all the madhouse restaurants. Maybe work is good. Like, there's no desire to, like, if you're not the fitness type of couple, like, there's no desire to do the most or look a certain type of way. It's definitely a thing. It's definitely something I've seen over time, and you can lose yourself. Maybe stop spicing things up at home, start tying rapper type of thing, and just be. And I think a lot of men have voiced recently, in recent days or years, that women or their girls should stop doing that. Conversation for another day. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. Like, yeah, people get into relationships and just become, I've landed, I've arrived. There's nothing to strive for again. And it's a very bad mentality, but yeah, it does happen. It does happen. For me, I don't like that type of thing. You have to keep me on my toes to the end, and I'll do the same for you too as well. Because I like spontaneity on that level, but don't just become relaxed and start tying rapper at home and start, yeah.
It's the terror part that's throwing me off.
You,
So I think like maybe we are confining it to just maybe the physical aspects. I
Yep.
think I think it's a whole lot more than that. Like, okay, let's say for instance you were passionate about uh um painting, or you were passionate
Oh
about
my gosh, yes.
drawing
Something.
or something like that. You were passionate about something, but because you're now in a relationship, you've lost interest in those things. Just become, oh, I'm just going to stay
mhm.
at home or just be with my partner and just enjoy. No, those
Hmm.
were the things that you found, the other person found attractive.
Yeah,
Mm, they contributed to the overall.
I
Yep,
can
yep.
relate
Yeah.
to that. Yeah.
So So it's not fair that you now stop all those things just because
Mhm.
you know y- you're now in a relationship. No, continue being your person within the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
agree. There's definitely the
well said.
physical. And I also think like Lamide said, the physical and then like the other elements of it as well, that it's a slippery slope and you have to catch yourself when you're in a relationship, because that is what excited you to get into a relationship. So you want to keep that excitement going when you're in it. Yeah.
Yep, this has definitely been fun. Thank you, Nonso, for gracing us with your presence. You definitely have to come back. I think your takes are very unique and honest, and I love that. Thank you
Anytime.
guys for listening. Thank you for joining us once again. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, rate this podcast wherever you listen to on your favorite digital streaming platforms, and continue and promise to feed you with more and more juicy content every week. And yeah, so we come your way again, same time, same place next week. It's bye bye for now. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.